Hello, everybody. I'm talking with the CEO of United Way, Genesee County here, and I want to thank you so much, sir, for allowing me time to find out what United Way is and what it does. Give me the history of United Way.
Okay, so um, our United Way here in Genesee County has been in the community for about 93 years, and we're part of a broader network of United Ways across the country, which
Mhm.
are currently the largest fundraising group in the world of its kind. We raise as a collective, about $5.5 billion a year, and about $5 billion is raised in the United States, and about half a billion outside the United
When
States.
you say of your kind, of this kind,
It's
what
the
do you mean?
United Way.
What do you
So
mean? What do you mean, United?
every
What is the United Way? That's what I really want to
sure
know.
there's
What
a
is it?
well we are our own independent nonprofit corporation here in Genesee County, the United Way of Genesee County. But we have a parent organization called United Way Worldwide, and that is a it's a nonprofit based in Washington D.C. And that United Way national organization again started up a little over 100 years ago, and we all are affiliated through that parent organization, but at the same time, we're our own independent 501c3. We have our own local board, we keep our own finances, we have our own audits, but we just meet a set of minimal and essential standards to be a United Way.
So, what is the purpose of the United Way in
Sure.
today's society?
Sure. So there's historically, the United Way was formed to be a hub for raising money in communities across the United States, and then taking those dollars and investing them back in whatever programs that community would need. So, you know, um, youth programs, basic needs food programs, all kinds of things. United Ways across the country really reflect the needs of their individual community.
So, how do you select the people that you
Sure.
service, your constituents?
So, 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 and let me kind of step forward into the 21st century. Um, in the last 20 years, the world has changed a tremendous amount. More and more nonprofits are raising money for themselves, and there in some areas there is those nonprofits don't necessarily need the United Way to be what it was in all aspects, right? So the United Way has been changing over the last 20 years pretty
You're
dramatically.
evolving.
Yes, across the country, the United Ways are
Okay.
evolving. And so um, at the local level, and this is what United Ways do is, and we did this just about 2 years ago when I arrived, we did a strategic plan looking across Genesee County at taking data around health, education, financial stability of our citizens, and tried to look at how does Flint look statistically, how does Genesee County look statistically, and then how to compare that with the state of Michigan, and then more broadly with the United States, to identify what are the priorities in Genesee County where our United Way can make a difference.
Where are those? Where are you most needed in
So
Genesee
right, right.
County?
So
Do you have an idea of
yeah, absolutely.
where you're most needed?
So the board of directors of the United Way took all this information. We talked to about 250 community members through focus groups, as well, and then other community leaders across the community that would have insights in different areas. And the United Way landed on very specific priorities in the areas of education, basic needs, health, and financial stability. So, for example, I'll pull one of those out, right?
Hmm.
Education. Our United Way, prior to the recent strategic plan, had never identified education as a focus area, right? We certainly had funded programs that would contribute to education, but we hadn't focused in on it.
Okay.
And then our board said, we're really interested in only two areas in education. One is early childhood literacy with a focus on 0 to 3rd grade, where a parent is engaged.
Well, that's really interesting because I spoke with an instructor. I was telling you about Russ College
Sure.
yesterday and the student
Sure.
loans. You got to pay those. Well, I talked to one of my major instructors there, who's there now, who's over the Division of Social Science. And he was saying the same thing. He says, you know what? Young people need to really gear themselves up and be prepared. A lot
Right.
of them are getting to high school and they're not able getting to
Right.
high school and college at the lower level, entry
Right.
levels of college. And unable to comprehend sentences and
Right.
structures that are in the content areas of college work. So it's interesting because I thought about the kindergartners that I used to work with in Texas,
Right.
and they were human sponges. So it's a matter of kids wanting to do it, wanting to get what they need in order
Right.
to be successful. So you're saying United Way helps the educational
So
systems.
so we prioritize that specific issue, early childhood, 0 to 3rd grade, parent involvement, as a focus area for us to invest our unrestricted dollars. So right, I,
So you make donations,
so
contributions,
so you to
grants.
step back, yes, but to step back, where's the money come from? That's usually the next question, right? The United Ways gather money in, basically, we have thousands of donors that work across the community in companies and businesses. And those donors elect to give $1 a week or $5 a week or some more, but they take a little bit out of their paycheck through payroll deduction every week, and that money then comes to our United Way. Some of that money is designated. That means the person making the gift says, I'm going to give my $5 a week, but darn it, I want it to go
To
just
a certain, they specify where they want
to
it to
the
go.
Red Cross, to the Boys and Girls Club, to the Big Brothers Big Sisters.
HBCUs.
As long as it's a 501c3 entity in good standing with the IRS, we'll honor that.
Let me ask you this question:
Sure.
do you help organizations establish a 501c
So,
tax exempt
so
status?
yeah, that's a whole other area of some things that we do in terms of I wouldn't say we provide some training in the community through a special program we have that addresses capacity building called the BEST program. We don't apply for people to get the 501c3. We provide trainings in board development, fund development. We do a thing
So
called.
how would people
Sure.
connect with you in order to become a participant or to
Sure.
benefit from that particular
Sure.
component of the United Way here in
Right.
Genesee
So
County?
so in that respect, they need to call our office and ask for the best staff. So the best is the acronym, for building excellence in these smaller organizations. That's the name of the program. Or our website has a tab of capacity building, and you click on best, and you can contact our team member that leads that work. But that capacity building piece is a separate program that we support, and then other local foundations support with grants to the United Way to deliver that service. So we have a lot of small organizations that don't qualify, for example, to receive money from United Way as a funded partner, but that can come and build the capacity to maybe one day be able to meet those standards. So there is some of that going on in that regard. But basically, kind of stepping back, we raise the money in community, and we're not like an organization that has one or two big donors that give us millions of dollars. We're an organization that has thousands of small donors. And so we take that money, and some of it's restricted and some of it's unrestricted. The restricted dollars we honor and we pass it on to what the donors asked, and we do that as long as the organization is a 501c3 and in good standing. If it doesn't, we go back to the donor and say, we can't pass this on. What do you want us to do? Then there are other donors who give us the money and it's unrestricted.
Mm-hmm.
So then that money flows through our priority process. So each March, we release in community what's called a request for proposals. And along with that request for proposals, it outlines our funding priorities in education, basic needs, health, and so on. And so anybody in community can access that. It's on our website. We email it out through the nonprofit community. We share that in community to the best that we can. And then organizations that are 501c3s and meet the criteria can apply for United Way funding. We usually get requests that are twice as much as what we have to offer into the community. and then we have a group of community volunteers that evaluate those proposals, and we make grant awards based on a competitive basis. So
Thank you.
that's how the money gets out into community every year.
That helps me out quite a bit.
Yep, yep.